2, 1.
Go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here, the Detailed Depth Podcast. Sorry if that hit. Sorry if that hit pretty hard.
We're still getting used to these mics.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're back. Detailed Depth Podcast. We're here. I got Tommy Wilge here down at the Driven Auto Works HQ. You got me, Quinn, owner of Driven Auto Works Detailing here in Niagara-on-the-Lake. And today, I think we should talk about a fun episode that is not overly technical. It can apply to everybody, and that is maintenance.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm talking weekly versus monthly versus yearly, and in some people's problems, bi-yearly. So
I'm going to be the first to say something. I am a detailer, and I wash my truck once every year and a half.
get out.
I shit you not.
Are you serious? It's like a mechanic's car's always broken.
Yeah.
And a carpenter's house is never finished.
I don't know what it is. I mean, truthfully, I don't know. Like, I don't know what it is.
See, I wash my.
Truthfully, I would love to wash it more, or like properly wash it more. I mean, I'll do a spray down, but like a thorough wash and scrub and everything, I don't think. Well, let's put it this way. My truck's been wrapped in shitty vinyl for 3 years now, just over 3 years, and I don't know if a wash mitt's ever touched it.
That's crazy. What about your wife's car, though?
She will say I don't clean it enough, but she's had more cleanings than my truck has, for sure. Her car.
See, interesting. See, I guess, wife's truck, I drive an old classic Dodge pickup truck. I probably clean that at least once a week.
Wow. Shit.
And then my wife's truck, like our family car, we'll call it, I clean that at least weekly inside and out. But we have two boys,
Wow.
two twin boys, so it gets really messy, really quick.
That I can see. Yeah, with two boys, yeah. I mean, not that I make excuses, but I mean, I work full time.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, I like
detail in the evenings and the weekends, and
every Saturday it's kind of my thing. I'll take the truck in and do it. But it's a nice segue from our previous topic, because we talked about the different types of paint and how you have to correct each one differently and read it differently. So this is more so for everybody, because we're coming in the springtime. We're coming into where the weather is going to get really nice. And people are going to get that sudden burst of energy to go out and start cleaning their cars. So I think it's a perfect episode, especially now. You know, we're almost mid-May at the time of this recording. So it's going to be where people are going to try to tackle it into their own, they're going to take control of it. And these are people, we're not talking about people with coatings and PPF and people that have been to a professional detailer. We're just talking about the importance of vehicle aesthetic maintenance, detailing maintenance, and why, especially if, let's say, you couldn't fit it into the budget to get some sort of protection applied after it, but you attempted the paint correction yourself, or you got the paint cleaned up, or anything from a dealer. Let's say you buy a pretty half-decent car. Most of the time, they've been run through a quick paint correction prior to them being put on the lot. So what can they do? Like, break down what's the difference between weekly maintenance versus a monthly maintenance versus somebody who only touches it after the winter and somebody who only touches it after the summer, and what is the pros and cons of doing it both in the long run and in the now. So you said it yourself on your work truck that you only do it every, well, I don't even know, you said 3 years it hasn't been washed.
I mean, it's not even a point you're even talking about that, because it's
not okay. Let's
it's
use your wife.
Non-existent on my truck. Yeah, okay. My wife's car. So, I generally try to give it a really good clean, at least once or twice a year. I mean, we've got one boy, but really his message is contained to his car seat at this point, anyways. So, everywhere else, it's really just dust and, like, the glass gets dirty and whatnot. So when it comes to maintenance, I mean, I guess, we can start with the exterior. We'll maybe talk exterior and interior. We haven't really talked about much interior stuff on the show yet.
Yeah, that's true.
But like exterior, what's your bare minimum? You're gonna use a 2-bucket method. People say that's a waste of time. I mean, depends on your situation, but a single bucket method is plenty. You know, you rinse the car, throw some soap in a bucket, wash it.
In my opinion, I think it depends on how often we're talking. Like if we're talking a weekly, every Friday thing, you can probably get away with a single bucket kind of thing because you're upkeeping it. If you're doing it once a month and it's pretty heavy, the dirt and stuff that's on there, maybe a 2 bucket's gonna kind of
depending on the car too, right? If it's
depending on the car, soft paint versus hard paint.
Well, so. that or if it's like a daily, it's a pickup truck that you just haul up and down the highway with. It's again, nothing wrong with it. The whole point of the 2-bucket thing is to mitigate the amount of debris you're dragging across the.
Maybe you should explain what is the 2-bucket method.
So the 2-bucket method is you've got a bucket full of water and soap and another bucket of just clean water. And so generally what you would do is there's different ways here. I guess you can rinse the car off first, and then if you don't have a foamer, you can go ahead and just dunk your mitt into the soap, do a panel, flip the mitt over, do another panel, go to your clean bucket, rinse your rag, and they've got grit guards on the bottom, or rinse your mitt, and they've got grit guards on the bottom. Come back to your soapy water, dunk it, do another couple panels, and then just kind of go that way. You can also foam your car, like after you rinse it, you can foam it just to add that little bit of lubricity on there. And also, one thing to note, everybody seems to think that the thicker the foam, the more it does, the more it cleans, which is completely false. It's just more surfactant in the actual soap, which allows it to stick to the paint. The only real benefit is that it adds a bit of lubricity to... What the hell are you doing?
Blowing away the ashes that just landed on my lap.
Setting the fucking place on fire. It's meant to more add lubricity. It's a good way of adding some lubricity to your paint while you're dragging the wash mitt across it, right? So for anybody who sees all these freaking videos of like companies promoting that they've got the most foam, and they just let it sit there, and if you just let it sit there, it does absolutely nothing, especially if it's pH neutral soap, which is generally any soap you can get at like Canadian Tire or wherever, right?
Well, I learned a long time ago, and it might come to shock with some people, that the foam actually doesn't do anything. It's like when you brush your teeth, how the toothpaste foams. The toothpaste doesn't need to foam in your mouth. They do it as like a sense of making you feel like you're cleaning something. So like you said, it's the actual... lubrication properties in this, and not the foam.
It's the surfactants.
Foam is surfactants.
It's if you look at a proper ceramic soap, like we sell a ceramic soap, and it barely foams. And it throws a lot of people off because they're like, oh, it's bad, or it doesn't. No, it's the whole point is it doesn't have as many surfactants in it, so that it actually applies more of the built-in coating or the built-in ceramic more onto your paint to help rejuvenate that top coat or just to add that extra bit of protection.
But with that being said, then so a basic tool that most people should have in their arsenal, especially if they're cleaning it, the weekend warrior kind of guy that likes to take care of his car, would be a foam gun. Right.
Foam guns are good.
Right off the hop.
You buy a Simonized pressure washer, go to Canadian Tire, pick one up for $200-300.
Yeah.
It'll come with a little foam cannon with it.
Yep.
It's not the best, but it's something.
Yep.
And actually the newer ones now, I find them to foam up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Which adds that bit of lubricity, like I said.
Yeah. Gone are the days of the... I remember you used to get the
wand.
The wand
with the little capsule, the little cap that sits underneath.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then after that, you would get, because to produce a good amount of foam, and not to nerd out on people, but it's not the pressure that produces the foam. It's the GPM of the output of the pressure washer. It's the amount of water that it outputs that produces the foam. So I remember back when they first came out, because a lot of shops we use commercial electric pressure washers, and we would always have to take out the orifices and put a smaller orifice in, just so that we could get that foam combination, we wanted. So that was, but gone are those days now. Now, they produce a decent amount of foam no matter what. So I would say a foam gun, foam cannon, foam lance, whatever you want to talk.
You can get a foam cannon that holds the soap in it.
Yeah.
For your garden hose.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't gonna foam. It's not gonna go crazy, but again, it's just throwing some type of foam onto the car to add a bit of lubricity.
Yeah, so I think that's a staple in your weekend detailing thing. The 1 bucket versus the 2 bucket, I'd leave that up to them.
Yeah, I mean it depends on how picky you're gonna be.
2 bucket is the professional textbook way of if you want to check all your boxes, that's the way of doing it. But from there with you're okay. You see, so people don't know this, but like we said the last episode, we got all this new equipment and we have this mixer board and we were
I'll be honest, I feel like fucking Dead Mouse at Club XS in Vegas right now. I got everything in front of me.
And beforehand, Tommy's like screwing around with it, and we sounded like the guy from Saw, like the "Do you want to play a game" guy. And I was dying laughing, and I could barely breathe. So I have been recovering for this for the last 30 minutes. So I apologize, but yeah. So the 2 bucket method, whether you use single bucket method or whatever you do, you're gonna rinse your car off. You're gonna hit it with the foam. The rinse is gonna take away a lot of those big contaminants on there, the stuff you can see. Then you're gonna spray your foam onto it. You're gonna have whatever your soap mixed into your wash. You're gonna mitt the thing down, rinse it off. Are we doing this in the sun? Are we doing this in the shade? What's better?
You obviously want to do it in the shade with a cool car. I mean, ideally you want to have it like sit in the garage or sit in the shade for a little bit before you wash it. That's ideal. You don't want that foam to dry up and leave that residue. It could pose some issues. I mean, most times you're okay, but it could pose some issues. Once you rinse it off, once you rinse that foam off, I think the next step would, again, this is kind of for the everyday person because we don't expect them to have the arsenal of chemicals that we would have, but I think at the very least do a nice iron decon, soak the car down.
Yep.
Right. So what you've done now is you've removed with your hand wash, you removed all the surface stuff, and now you're tackling anything that's kind of embedded in the paint. So 2 things you can do is iron decon, spray it on, and let it sit. Do your wheels, let it sit. You'll see anywhere where there's any ferrous metal, it'll turn purple. It'll kind of melt it away. You can agitate it a little bit with a little soapy mitt. Again, rinse that off, and then as an added, let's say, bonus, you can use some water spot remover, and that's actually been really good.
So you're preemptively using the water spot remover.
Well, it's not just about removing water spots. Water spot remover is it's like an enzymatic cleaner that actually removes any organic material. So for instance, like you've got minerals and things like that may be set on your car, or grime and stuff like that. The water spot remover actually helps remove all that. So if you have, just as an example, if you have a coating and you notice it's not beading, you can actually use a little bit of water spot remover and clean it properly. And most times you'll see that beading come right back. We just had it done a couple days ago. But you can use it just as a fail safe, just to make sure you've got everything off the car. And then from there, I mean, what would you suggest from that point?
After then the water spot remover, if you have a non-protected vehicle, I think I've always been a big fan of drying aids. So that could be, I mean, there's so much stuff out there. Any quick detailer, spray wax, that kind of thing, ceramic spray wax if you're into that kind of thing. And this is talking specifically about these people without coated cars. People with coated cars, the cleaning regimen is going to be totally different.
And it's going to be a lot easier.
It's going to be a lot easier. We're just talking basic kind of things. So we have, the single bucket versus the 2. You rinse the car down, get rid of the big stuff, get it wet. You're going to snow foam it, or foam cannon it, whatever you want to call it. You're going to mitt it down. You're going to do your iron decon after that. so you're going to chemically get after it. You're going to clean all that. You brought up the water spot remover afterwards, just as a fail-safe, just to make sure it's clean, right?
Yeah. Or if you have water spots, I mean.
And this is like a weekly regimen, you would say?
Week to 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say every 2 weeks for sure.
Yep. And then after that, I would use a drying aid of some sort just to have a little lubricity on the paint when you're drying it as well. Because obviously the water's going to kind of retain on there a little bit more than it would with a coated vehicle, so you're not going to be able to blow it dry like you could, so you're going to have to touch it. So a drying aid, and then that's also going to kind of give you a little bit of sealant on top of the paintwork as well after the fact. And I think I do that with my truck. Obviously, my truck's coated, so the cleaning's a lot different, but every week I'll do that, and every 2 weeks I'll put like a topper or something from that coating company. I'll wipe it down with it very quickly. But the benefits to doing this type of thing weekly is it's going to stop stuff from building up on your paintwork, and it's going to stop you having to get that correction, because it's easier just to correct out love marks than it is to correct out, defect and extremely bad marring, that kind of stuff. So you're setting yourself up to have it look the best you can. So I've always been a big proponent of doing it, every week, because all it takes is one bird dropping to be sitting on that paintwork.
Yeah. And
we talked about it the last episode, about hard paint versus soft paint and stuff like that. So the bird droppings are it's getting worse. It's staining worse. So if you can at least get that off, you're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
So.
What about you've got those rinse-on protectants that you can get now? So you, stuff like Easy Coat, where you would just hook it up to your power washer, you hook it up to your hose, and it'll spray the protectant right on it. So you've got a wet vehicle, you're spraying it on wet. Anywhere where this product goes on, you can just see it start to bead. Or at the same time, you can actually do like a spray on. There's companies out there where, when the car's wet, after you've washed it, you've done everything, spray it on and rinse it off, and you get that little bit of beading action as well.
And I have a favorite, like a really nice product that I always tell people to get, consumer grade. You can buy it on Amazon. I know we're not mentioning products on here, but it's by a fairly well-established company that dabbles both professional use stuff and consumer grade stuff. And it basically puts like an SiO2 layer onto it, which is exactly what you said. And it's kind of like a drying aid, and it sprays on there, and it's going to give you that protection. And once you upkeep that weekly or bi-weekly, whatever you're going to do, it's going to build up over time. So your maintenance is going to be better, more efficient. It's going to require less work on your part as time goes on. So putting that drying aid, I think, may be one of the most critical steps. And if you guys want to DM us, we can give you some really quality products. I mean, I know Detail Logics sells a bunch of stuff that's good quality stuff too. So you can always check their website out.
Thanks for the plug.
You like that plug?
Yeah.
That was nice. See, I didn't know if you were going to go on to it. But, yeah, they sell some nice stuff. So you can go on there and put some sort of protection on it that's going to be a lot better than, like, your age-old wax and that kind of stuff. Yeah. That stuff's kind of dated. But after that, I think that's pretty much it, like, as a weekly thing. Right?
Yeah, just like, quick maintenance, quick little wash. I think that.
Do you start with rims first? Are you a rim first guy, or are you a rim after? See, I'm a rim after guy.
Rim after.
I'm a rim after.
Buy the book, and I don't know what book there is, but I mean, anybody that's a professional out there that's been a veteran, they always say rims first. I personally don't see any benefit of doing it first versus doing it last.
See, I think if you do it first, now especially if you're like the weekend guy, you're going to want to dump out that bucket if you did your rims, depending on.
Well, I mean, or you have a separate bucket for the rims, right?
Or you do, but if you have one bucket, you're doing a dump and a refill. So I always took
use the dirty, and then once everything's dirty, you're gonna use it on the fucking rims anyways, right?
Exactly,
yeah,
right?
I totally.
Because you're not rubbing metal all over your paint, right? If you do it the other way, but Yeah, some people, but don't use. If you only have a single bucket method that you're applying to it, do not do your rims first, and then use that same bucket with a wash mitt, and then do your car, because that's you're just asking for trouble at that point. Also, too, I forgot to mention, especially with me on a weekly thing, I always like to use a squeegee on the windows first before I even worry about the paintwork. I always find water dries up on the glass so fast.
Yeah.
And it just does that weird etching thing on glass for some reason.
So porous.
So I would probably do that. That'd be my only stipulation.
That's a good one. That's
just
probably
get the glass dry first, then deal with the paint.
Yeah, that's good. So, I mean, that's pretty much it at that
for
point
the outside,
for the exterior.
Yeah.
Moving to kind of to the interior. This is probably one of the quite a bit of debating, anyways, between detailers on this one, on what do you do first and how do you do it and whatnot. But let's talk again in layman's terms, and in basically talking as though somebody that just has a car, they just want to do a quick detail on the inside. Are you going to wipe down the dash first? Are you going to vacuum first? That's totally up to you. My personal recommendation is wipe down, work from your top down. Wipe down your dash, wipe down your center console, your seats and everything, get everything onto the floor. And then once you're kind of done dusting, vacuum everything up, apply your dressing if you want. Just don't use Armor All. Just apply your dressings, or just don't worry about applying anything onto it.
It's funny. My brother-in-law phoned me today. They just bought a new Jaguar, actually, an SVR Jaguar. So
nice.
it's the SUV type. So it's a nice car. And he phoned me today, and he's like, "Hey, I'm at the store here. Give me a quick cleaning bucket kind of thing." And the first thing I said to him was, "Well, no Armor All."
Yeah.
Like, I fucking hate slippery cars.
Yeah.
Like, if you
but
sit
there's people out there that just want to see their faces in that fucking leather seat. Like all the power to them.
If I'm in a car and when you turn a corner, I'm like fighting to stay into it, so I'm like slipping. I'm like oozing over the sides because it's like a skating rink. That is terrible. Leather is not supposed to be slippery. It's supposed to be supple and plush and grippy. It's not supposed to be like.
And same with the dash. Same with the dash. So the dash, so why not use Armor All? I mean, okay, we're not supposed to be throwing out name brands out there, but Armor All's been around for a long time. It's got its uses, I suppose, for some people, and some people love it. By all means, what I always found with the Armor All is, like, especially on the dash, it collects dust because your dash is
so oily.
Your dash is so oily. It's just gonna attract all that dust and sit there.
What was the point of the oil finish?
I think, I'll be honest, I don't know. I thought maybe for the tires, and I'll be honest with you, I'm thinking back to the movie, God, what is it called?
Fast and Furious?
No, the fucking Vegas one. Oh my God.
Vegas one.
Oh my God.
Ocean's 11?
No, why is it? I'm drawing a blank here.
Oh, the Italian Job.
No, Zach Galifianakis.
Hangover.
Thank you. Sorry. So when the dad goes, just make sure you put some Armor All on the tires so the sand doesn't seep in.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously I was a detailer before that movie came out, but when that movie came out and they said that, I'm thinking, okay, obviously Armor All had something to do with the rubber. Like rubber, it's more of a rubber protectant, right? So if you're going to put on your tires, put on your tires. But I don't think you should be overloading your interior with it, personally.
Yeah, I don't.
That's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's like that.
People love it. People, I mean,
I
said, people.
I think the older plastics used to kind of absorb it a little bit better. They didn't really have the technologies come so far, and a lot of dashes nowadays aren't plastic. They're more of that like vinyl kind of faux thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't want Armor All on that. You don't want to see your dash in your windshield.
Well, the gloss, and then not only that, but it's you got to apply it evenly, because if you start streaking it around, kind of applying it whatever which way, you're going to start seeing your the marks all over the dash.
Yeah, it's just terrible. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, so basically, it's up to you what you use. I mean, we're just suggesting it. But yeah, I mean, essentially, you're just kind of wiping everything down. You're
I agree with
vacuuming.
you. My vacuum's the last thing that I
Yeah,
do. Actually, no, I lied. For some reason, I always do the windows after I vacuum everything.
I always do the windows at the end myself.
I don't know why.
That's like a final thing
Yeah.
for me. Because if I'm applying something on the dash, I'm always going to hit the window.
Yeah, it's the final.
You're going to knock it with your finger. You got grease on your hand, whatever it is. You're gonna hit
screens. What do you are you using interior cleaner on screens?
No.
And I'm talking consumer brand stuff. So I think a lot of the consumer brand stuff's really dialed back anyways. I don't really think
quite
there's
diluted.
much
It's quite
damage
diluted,
you
but
could do, but are you using glass cleaner on the screens? Like, what do you as a weekend guy?
Yeah,
what do you
I would just spray it onto the cloth, like very, very light, and just wipe down the screens that way with glass cleaner.
Yeah,
I wouldn't use like an APC. I wouldn't use a degreaser by any means.
No.
Screens are expensive, and all cars have screens nowadays.
Yeah.
You're gonna get fingerprints and all that. Mind you, you could also PPF the screens. I don't think I've never PPF'd a screen. To me it's like water and electronics and
Yeah, I've never PPF'd a screen either. I've PPF'd like interior piano plastics.
Panels, yeah, exactly, but not
screens.
Like some people will put those anti-glare and things like that, which you can apply dry in some cases. But if they want PPF on it, you're gonna have issues potentially with like the touch telemetrics. And all that.
Yeah, I don't know. I know too. Like in my and we have a GMC. The screens are terrible for the oil residue on your finger, and you know how it discolors the screen. They're just terrible for that. I don't think there's any way really around that. I just think over time it's just going to go through it. But the oils on your hand, like just doing a basic wipe down every week, every 2 weeks, is really going to prolong the finish too on that because it's in the sun. And the amount of oils that are on your hands, that are on your steering wheel, like anybody, this weekend, if the weather's nice, go out there, spray some APC on a rag or your interior cleaner on a rag, and just give your steering wheel a just quick little wipe, and you will be amazed at the amount of dirt that comes off of that steering wheel. And a lot of them are leather wrapped steering wheels, so that leather's porous, so it's holding a lot of that grit and that nasty stuff, and that's what leads to the degradation of the steering wheel. I know it was really bad with the F-150s, the 2016 F-150s. They were kind of like that. They weren't leather wrapped. I don't know what it was. It was like a plastic kind of finish on it, but it would tear apart in your hand, right? From holding it, you get the little bits coming off on your hand, and it's just dirt. It turns into like little micro sandpaper after a while, and you're just rubbing it in. So getting the oils off your hands and getting the dead skin off the surfaces of your car,
and the blinkers and the wiper wands and all that,
all that stuff. Like it really goes a long way. And another overlooked thing too is the seats, right? Like you're sitting in these seats, you're dye from people's jeans. If you stay on top of that stuff, you're gonna do a much better job, keeping it at bay. It's easier to remove a little bit than it is to try to do it once a month and try to remove a lot. You can do it once a month, but once a month you're going to do a lot more heavy lifting versus once a week it's going to take you 20, 30 minutes to kind of do a full exterior wash, a quick little vacuum, clean your mats up, especially those WeatherTech mats. They get stained so quickly and so bad, and if you just upkeep that, it really does a lot for you. It really helps keep the value of that car going in the direction you want it to go to. In the wintertime, it helps mitigate salt stains. It just does so much for you. Now, we know that not everybody has the nicety of having a garage that they can pull it into and have at it for a half an hour, right? But in the wintertime, it's really overlooked. So
you ever seen those videos of people power washing the inside of their car?
Yes. Yeah.
You often wonder, I think it's just they're just doing it for views, but it's unbelievable what people actually do.
Yeah. It reminds me, I think those guys that go around for $60 and they're cleaning the inside of your car. I immediately go there. It's like, what effective cleaner can you use for $60 to go and clean the inside of someone's car with? I mean, honestly, the quality of that, are you diluting it? Obviously, we know it's cheaper to buy straight product and dilute it
Concentrate,
ourselves,
yeah.
right? Like, it's just so crazy to me that people with these nice interiors would go to that degree. It is honestly way better just to do it yourself and just give it a quick wipe down. If you can, right? Like, if you can't, that's what professional detailing's out there for. You know, we're out here to give you a factory reset, kind of, in a way, and to give you back something that's completely clean, it's completely disinfected, it's every surface, every texture is the way it's meant to feel. Because when you use enough of these consumer grade products, you are going to build a certain level of film, or you're going to build stuff up over time. So eventually you're going to need to incorporate steam or some sort of heavy, professional grade cleaners and techniques to kind of really give it a clean. But, at least once a week, you stay on top of it. You take small bites out of the bigger picture. I know with 2 kids, it is way better for me to do it weekly than it is to just simply do it bi-weekly. I wait 2 weeks. It adds at least 45 to an hour extra.
Yeah, you got to do it. And mind you, in your case, you've got the one family hauler, right? You're not gonna put the kids in your old truck generally.
No,
right?
No.
So it's, if you're going anywhere with the kids, you're always taking that one vehicle.
And the only reason why I do it with the old truck too is it's stickered up, and obviously it's like your billboard for your business, right? It's a reflection of your work you do.
Doing anything stupid.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing anything stupid, and you don't want it to look too, like, within reason. And it's so hard, dude. Like, I agree with you with your work truck. You said it's been so long since you've touched a mitt to it. Like, I get it. You do it every single day, and the last thing you want is to then spend time and treasure on doing your own thing. It's hard. It's really, really hard, but it is a reflection of who you are and how well you can do things, and people are going to look at it, especially when it's an older, truck like mine. It's people naturally going to look at it anyways. You want it to look the best, but for the family hauler, it's simply just survival.
Yeah.
Like, if it's 2 weeks, it's just crazy.
Well, and it's safe, health and safety.
Yeah.
I guess, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want shit building up in there.
Like, I don't know about you, but
growing.
I get a lot of clients, like, after the wintertime, and they've had mouse problems. Like, that's a completely and that's simply
biohazard charge.
Yeah, like, it's simply, if you had just upkept it a tiny bit, just get those crumbs out, just get that food out of there. Could they have still went in it to see? Sure, but you're inviting them in with all this extra stuff, and a lot of that could have been mitigated just with, like, a quick 30-minute thing every week. So yeah, don't be scared to give your interiors a quick wipe down. I mean, if you're really that nervous about what you got going on, just a damp rag with some water, some hot water, and just give it a wipe. Just get the oils, get the skin, get the sweat, get the stuff off the interior, and keep up on it, because it's gonna, in the long run, it's gonna benefit you a lot more.
Don't miss the shifters either.
Yeah, the shifters are super gross.
They build up,
yeah, because you spend a lot of time in these things, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So,
all right. So we talked about. This was just kind of a simple episode where maybe some people just weren't really sure where to start with maintenance stuff. Washing the outside of the car, cleaning your inside of the car. Anything else you want to add? Again, this is kind of a quick little episode.
I think the main part of it is just the importance of just doing some sort of detailing maintenance routine on your own every week or every month even, or whatever. The longer you wait, the more heavy lifting you're going to have to do, and the more heavy lifting that you'll have to do, the better the chance that you're going to ruin, mar, distort, wreck. You're gonna hurt the paintwork. So if you stay on top of it, and it doesn't have to be rocket science, and I think that's the biggest problem we're having with this episode, just recording it, is it sounds so mundane, because it is mundane, and that simple stuff can really help you in the long run. It's really going to help, keep it clean and keep it looking nice and keeping yourself, happy with the product that you bought and got without having to come and visit a place like ours and get it professionally detailed and get it professionally clean.
For sure.
Right? If it's not in the budget, it's going to help you in so many ways. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
we're trying to promote the healthy car lifestyle.
Yeah,
so
healthy car lifestyle,
right?
and it's good. And the reason we brought up the interiors is the interiors, like you said in previous, it's worth just as much as the outside. It's quickly becoming some of the most expensive components of vehicles on the inside. So, obviously seeing a professional detailer is your safest bet. You're going to get a quality of service that you're looking for, but there's nothing wrong with doing it yourself, giving it a quick wipe down, giving it a quick vacuum, and just trying to stay on top of it. Even though you can go to a professional detailer and they're going to take it from wherever it is to make it look like new again, in that interim, you still risk ruining the components, ruining the surfaces, ruining the types of leathers and screens and paintwork if you leave large gaps in between, detailing. And you see it every winter. People come in, the carpets are all full of salt stains and they're wet.
Oh,
and
you know
the
what?
mats have,
Let's
become
talk
moldy.
Let's talk about quick like salt stains. So for the just the everyday person out there that just wants to get rid of some salt stains, what's a good tip that you have for removing those salt stains just on their own without having to use any type of chemicals or special tools or anything like that?
Well, hot water will do it.
Yeah,
Hot water will get those salt stains away. Depending on how bad they are. I mean, the cheaper carpets, when they go like rock hard.
Yeah.
That's kind of something a little different, but
if
hot water.
Steamer. I mean, not everybody's got a steamer, but steamers are a fantastic way to just blow out. One thing I would say, maybe some people frown upon it, is power washing mats. I mean, we do it. I mean, not all the time, but we do it, especially if there's a lot of salt and mud buildup. I mean, to really help break up all that stuff, whether you can just drill brush it, but power washing the crap out of it and then trying to extract some of it, or letting it dry, squeezing it out. That's a good way anyways to get some of that some of those salt stains out.
If you find yourself in that position, and that quick weekly maintenance routine is going to help stop that. It's going to help get ahead of it. So I think we're pushing the fact that upkeep is going to help maintain a finish on it when you haven't gotten it ceramic coated. Like, we're not trying to be overly technical here. This is for everyday people that just like to take care of their stuff. So once a week, bi-weekly, once a month even. Once a month, I would say, is probably the furthest you should go without,
don't be like me and do it once every 3 years.
Yeah, don't be like Tommy. Do it once every 3 years. Do it a little sooner than that. But yeah, I think that's the gist of it. Just wash the car. It's not rocket science. Be mindful of simple things. Rinse it off. If it's full of mud, don't just throw your wash mitt to it and start scrubbing on it.
Yeah. Wash from the top down.
Top down. Dunk your wash mitt after every panel.
Yeah.
Just simple stuff. And do it once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month. It's going to help you in the long run, and it's going to really increase the longevity of the components and the surfaces and the paintwork of the vehicle. I think those are the biggest takeaways.
Yeah. And if you're a detailer listening to this, we apologize for the
we apologize for
maybe
the
boring episode for you, but I guarantee you that there's going to be people out there that they didn't realize. Just simple little tricks and things like that. As always, you can always reach out to any of us at the Detail Depth Podcast. You can reach Quinn at Driven Auto Works. You can reach myself at the HD Look. And feel free to ask us questions. I mean, our information's free. We'll give you information for free. There's no sense in doing anything more than that. So
we'll set you on your way. And I think we got some exciting news too. I think next week we're going to bring on our first guest. We're just in the finalization of it, but this gentleman comes from an automotive background. from the dealership side of things. So I think there's going to be a lot of goodies in there. We're going to talk about how dealerships work with the detailing aspect of it, kind of what their margins are. You know, are they really the big bad wolves on the block? Is everybody getting screwed over from the dealership? And I think a lot of people are going to be really surprised at just how tight everything is dealership-wise. So I think it's going to be a good episode. It's probably going to be a little longer. It's going to be a little more, obviously, there's more ideas that are going to be floating around, and we're just going to have a free conversation with it. But
that might be a 2-cigar episode.
Yeah, and I think, too, maybe we should try to record that one kind of live. That would be a new thing. Like,
you want to do like live?
Live. I think it would be really cool.
We can try.
You know, we'll see what happens. I don't know.
You know, we've had so many issues so far. Why not?
Why not add another thing to the plate?
Third camera, third fucking microphone.
Yeah,
we've got a mixer board now, so the sound's all right.
Keep everything in there. Yeah. So, yeah, that's next week episode. I think we're gonna try to have a guest on if everything goes good and our schedules line up. I think it's going to be a really good episode. So, so people should tune in, and hopefully we can do it live, so you can tune in live.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much once again. Myself, Tom, and Quinn. Thank you again for listening, and we will see you on the next one.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.